Hello and welcome to A Realm Awoken, a Final Fantasy XIV inspired Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game. We will essentially be playing Dungeons & Dragons using the Final Fantasy XIV compendium brought to you by the Reddit r/ffxivxdnd and the similarly named Discord. You can find their links in the description down below. We'll be playing our game on the Roll20 website, and I, FaZe, will be this series' Game Master. So today I'll be joined by four of my best friends, Baka, Rook, Ziggy, and Henry, as they journey throughout the 6th astral era of Eorzea. This will be the first time playing D&D for a lot of our players, and this will be my first time as the Game Master. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll on into the game. We are going to start our journey actually with a little bit of a scene from one of the characters I've created, as you kind of see on screen now. This is a Elezen character, a Dustwhite Elezen who has seen kind of at a bar. He's currently just in thought, sitting there with his dashing hair, the strife haircut, which he worked so hard to do up in the morning. He's got his nice little black blazer with the white collar. He's got a little guitar pick around his neck. He's sitting there in thought, holding this sphere. It's a swirling sphere. It's a very silvery gray. Has a lot of rainbow, almost like a mirror, in his hand, and it's about as big as like a baseball would be. And as he's sitting there looking at it, he's humming to himself a little memory, a little melody. He's trying to recall of a time. There's a memory that has been lost to him. And as he thinks back on it, he hums this melody in his head. And he says, a story written, yet forgotten. Questions yet to be answered, though they have already occurred. The only way to relive these memories is to draw upon the melodies that I've written. And he holds out his little sphere, and it starts to transform from a ball into more of a cube shape, into a triangle shape, into a star, and it eventually expands out, growing larger and larger into a beautiful little harp, like a mirrored harp. The whole thing is glistening, and he starts to play the harp as he remembers. And as he's sitting there kind of alone in this bar, you kind of see a slow of time around him as he's kind of going into this trance. And he starts to recall a different time. A time before when he is currently in. In fact, this is a time of the 6th astral era. So as this trance is going on, we start to get a realistic picture as in a very meta way our Elezen friend who is recalling the story both becomes a narrator of our content here, as well as a character in our world. So as he sits there playing his music, he opens his eyes. The harp is still in his hand as he's playing, but now he is suddenly surrounded by a more friendly environment. He is no longer alone in this bar, but there's a number of individuals eating at the tables. We have a chef over to the side who's cooking up a bunch of various meats and vegetables. We have our bartender who's just waiting for another person to walk in. He is at the very famous bar in Mordona at this time called The Pit. I call it The Pit because it sits right in the middle of Eorzea, in a place kind of next to a mountain in Silvertear, the mountain, as well as down towards the Silvertear Falls and the little water structures there. Just nestled into the area as a nice, cozy, comfy little bar. And I am actually going to have our players just roll me a d20 in the chat. Do a /roll 1d20 as we start to see who will enter our bar first. Cool. So in that case, we are first going to, as we introduce our characters here, we're going to take a look first at Aubrey.
You know, I'm not quite sure exactly how it came to be, but as I've grown older, I've kind of grown naturally a little bit more affinity towards the void. You know,
It's just
when
calling to you.
I could hear it calling to me in my dreams, you know, and it very almost at first I thought an evil force, but more so now something very familiar. It's that I'm able to call through my void companions, and they grant me strength in combat. And I've used a vessel in the form of a scythe to affiliate and strengthen my bond with my void creatures, and you know it makes the road a little less lonely. You know, it feels as if I've been traveling with, you know, a very dear companion of mine this whole time. So in that sense, it's very reassuring.
Yeah. Very cool. And these nightmares that you've been having have kind of been twofold for you, right? You've seen glimpses of the void and the capabilities that they could unleash upon the world, and they're frightening, to be honest. They stir you in your sleep, but even in some of those nightmares, you find some semblance of comfort, and that has helped you to communicate with the void, and you've now became kind of this reaper of the night, a vigilante of his own that came from very little, was very fortunate to be able to you know, make his way from pretty much a lowest low, and starting to uncover and to learn more about himself.
Definitely a lifelong journey at that. You know, I can't say the work that I do is in any way admirable or even justified, but it is the way of life that I feel is most appropriate for somebody like me.
Yeah. So in one of your most recent nightmares, you've seen glimpses of void creatures that have been constantly pulling at you, and they've kept you from a lot of nights of sleep. But in one of your most recent ones, you started to notice something as a trend. It's almost as if you were being guided, and you saw images of this bar, which you've come to track down through various number of sources to be this very bar in Mordona, the Pit. You're constantly being attacked or drawn into this background of the Pit in your dreams. And in one of your most recent ones, as the void creatures had pulled at you, you looked over and you saw a silhouette of an icon, a character that stood there. You couldn't figure their form, but you could see that they were a humanoid of sorts, and they were emanating this blinding, glowing light. And as the creature approached you, this silhouette, the eminence of their light dissipated some of the void creatures, except for one that stood with you. And then as you awoke the next morning, you were finding yourself rested. The nightmares that normally kept you from sleeping, this time you actually got a well night's sleep, and it's drawn you to this bar, the Pit. You wanted to learn more. Why was this recurring dream happening? So you stride up in here as our bard is still playing over there in the corner on the harp. You enter the bar here and look around. Is there any particular place you want to just kind of hang out for a bit?
Absolutely. And as I scan through this bar, I'm immediately drawn, obviously, to the bartender and the bar stool, and I ask, "May I?"
Of course.
And swiftly, I get a reply, and to which I order the huge.
The huge.
Huge.
She looks at you kind of funny, decides to pick one of her finest drinks, puts it in front of you, and you're going to town on the huge. As we pan away from that angle, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at one of our other great characters.
Sure. So, Gideon is a giant of a man. A towering human enters the bar. Drawing attention just from sheer size. Clad in armor. The kind of a darker look on his face. Head covered not by a helmet, but by a distinct bright red bandana. Immediately upon entering the tavern, heads towards the bar, and upon approaching the bar, addresses the bartender and says, "The strongest, cheapest drink you've got, please."
Strongest and cheapest. Interesting combination. She reaches around back, gets a drink fixed up for you, sets it in front of you. Coming in from a hard time?
The path to redemption is a long and difficult road.
I see, she says. And as we learned very little about the man with a hard past, coming from a background that perhaps is meant to stay a little bit of a secret. Let's move on to Miko, our beloved Makote, who comes from a very scholarly, very student-like background.
Yes. So Miko is coming to the bar. She's a gatherer of knowledge, and she's coming to Mordona in order to understand more of the etherical forces at play in Mordona. She wants to really understand the crystals and how they're formed and how they could be used in the future. So she basically is coming here because of when she was talking with Louis Soir was also really interested in this area, and basically she wanted to continue her correspondence with Louis Soir, and she wanted to basically bring something of, I guess, something that she would hope would impress the older man. So she decided to come out here and pursue her scholarly pursuits, and so she walks into the bar thinking that it would be the best place to start to get a feel for the area, maybe meet some locals and some other travelers that could help her in her journey. So I think she walks in. I think she sees Ziggy at the counter. She's like, wait, so does Ziggy have his spooky ghost out right now?
Aubrey, I guess, would be the question. Do you carry the Void Avatar with you?
I have another question. Is he even visible to everyone else right now?
He would be visible if you summon him. But
Well-
I would say you could communicate with him even though he would not be summoned. So you could
Well,
I
right
guess-
now he's like a part of me.
Oh, you're okay, so you're imbued with him currently.
Yes.
So you're emanating this like shadowy glow on you. But he is not currently visible.
Oh, okay. Well, Miko sees the shadow glow from Aubrey's body and decides that maybe he's not the best person to start talking to at first. So she looks around, sees where's Rick sitting?
Gideon is also at the bar.
Or Gideon.
I'm there.
This Hulk of
So
a man is at the bar.
She looks around, sees she decides that maybe she'll scout the area first before she really starts talking with anybody, so that she doesn't really step on the wrong toes by coming on too strong. So she grabs a seat at the empty table right there, and looks around, waiting for someone to come take her order. But she is very uncertain what to do.
Excuse me, young lass, aren't you a tad young to be in an establishment like this?
Actually, I'm 25. Thank you very much.
We see a little awkward exchange of conversation. And as this happens, we have our final player guest entering the bar here. Atlas. A long journey it has been for a Viera to show up, and a male Viera at that. Showing up into the bar, coming from a land, well, let's just say it's been a very long journey across all of the world. And his intentions of why he's here, really anyone's guess.
So, Atlas, everyone finds him intimidating just because, they look at him and people are automatically intimidated, so he's used to people keeping him at a distance. Even those that seek help are hesitant to refuse to ask him for help due to how intimidating he looks. So he just walks into the bar and just, buys, an ale from the bartender, and then just heads to a table and sits there alone, expecting to not be bothered by anybody.
Interesting. So we have a man, I guess across the bar, we have our male Viera sitting at one end. The very intimidating presence of him as he sits there with a giant greatsword across his back. We also have our Makote sitting next to him, Miko, who sits there with her books kind of strapped to her waist side, and she's awkwardly trying to figure out how to order a drink. We have Gideon, our rather large, bulky man with a sword and shield crossed his back. And then at the other end, we have our mysterious, cloaked Elizin, Aubrey, who sits there, emanating this ghostly hue from his body, ordering the huge as if he's been around parts like this before. Maybe not this particular bar, but he's definitely been around. And as we do that, we are going to quick transition over to the bar. As we're just kind of sitting here, we have our first engagement. Obviously, Miko kind of... Well, we have actually Aubrey reach out to Miko and ask her about potentially her age as she rebuttals back, saying she's definitely old enough. Is there any other engagements or any communication you guys want to engage in while you're sitting here at the bar?
I guess Miko tries to make some conversation. My, what a amazing aura you have, good sir. And then that's it.
I scoff and say, "What of you?" Look away.
What of me? I.
Not a very strong talker, either of you are, as you engage in this awkward conversation, and Gideon can't help but laugh a little bit to himself.
Wait, is like Gideon sitting in between
Gideon's
us?
in between the two of you.
I'll
Okay.
turn. I'll say to Miko, after I chuckle at that interaction, I'll turn and I'll say, "My name's Gideon. You seem not to be around here. You seem a little uncomfortable. Can I get you anything?"
Yeah, my name is Miko. I actually came here from the Charlene colony. I think it's Wait, I think that's pretty far away, right?
It would be not too far away, but not necessarily heard of. It's not a well-known establishment.
Okay. Yeah. This is my first time to Mordona. I'm actually not sure what the customs are here. I guess what drinks do you recommend?
You can't go wrong with an ale, but wow, all the way from there, you must have some interesting stories.
Yeah. It was quite the adventure to get here. Definitely saw my fair share of, I guess, unsavory characters.
Well, you can't expect everyone to be a hero, but
Yeah.
I respect
true.
you making the journey. You made it a long way. What are you doing out thus far?
Yeah, I'm sort of a scholar of sorts, and I'm really interested in sort of understanding the ethereal properties of Mordona. I've heard rumors that there are crystals here, and I have come in the hope of finding some of them and examining them.
Are you a math head or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A scholar, no doubt. I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to keep up with you conversational wise. I'm not as learned myself, but I respect the art.
Thank you. How
Funny
about
to find you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How about you? What brings you to these parts?
Oh, I'm a refugee, unfortunately. Just trying to find a little peace in the world. Hard to find these days.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Amen to that, brother.
I turn. I say, oh, sorry. I never caught your name.
It's Aubrey, but you can call me Brie. Brioche.
Certainly.
No,
Aubrey.
I'm just kidding. He says Aubrey, but you can call me whatever you'd like.
Nice to meet you, Brioche.
Everything you say is canon.
No, I take the brioche back. Fuck.
Unless you say
Careful.
explicitly it's inner monologue, that is coming out.
Whatever, fine. Fine. He said whatever he said.
Well, I'll call you Bree then. Where are you from, Bree? As we're all here trying to find answers in the bottom of our glasses. No harm in a little conversation.
And you might not be right. I mean, sorry, you might not be wrong. Yeah, I hail from the Shroud, stranger. Have you been to those parts?
I'm afraid I haven't been far outside of where I'm from. Alamigo, that is. How is it over in the Shroud? How is the war affecting you?
It's been quite harsh. One day, you know, your lads might be out there fighting. The next, you might never see them again. It's a tough world, and it takes a huge toll on everyone. I'm just out here seeking a little respite in these trying times, just as you might.
So, Aubrey, why don't you give me a little history roll real quick? So, I guess for the meta sake of it, when you roll, there'll be two numbers. This is for whether or not you have advantage. We'll be taking the left number in every case, unless I explicitly say that you have advantage, then we look at both. So in this case, you rolled a 20. And as Gideon explains, that he's coming from Alamigo and how he mentions that he mentioned the war and asked how you were faring, you can recall back to a time within the Shroud that you weren't there for, but you've heard stories of the Autumn Wars, where the city-state of Alamigo and Gridania had kind of clashed, and there was an invasion from Alamigo trying to take over the land and take over the forest area. You know that the alliance that was formed between the other city-states, between Ishgard, between Ul'dah, Limsa, they all came to Gridania's aid to push back Alamigo. So there's definitely been some bad blood between the two city-states, but you can also, with that rule, you know that the Empire has pushed out Alamigo. and has taken over that entire city-state and basically demolished their entire governing body. So just some insight information as to where Gideon is coming from.
So he's like a refugee from the destruction of Elamigo.
Yeah, but we also attempted to invade your land.
So inside
That's
knowledge,
fair.
do with what you will.
Warily, I ask him, where do you stand?
Do you mean where in Alamigo?
Or like in life, like where do you stand in life right now? Like where, like because you know how like you have to explain it that it's like hard. You know what I mean?
I mean, this is real world conversation, right? If he doesn't get what you mean, then just drop it.
All right, then I say my character, and then Aubrey says, "Perhaps it's better if I don't ask."
You seem like the distant type, but if you don't want to discuss, I feel like Miko here might be better for conversation, anyways. And I
Dang.
Wait, so have I been hearing this whole conversation, or
You're
is it like...
sitting next to each other, within earshot.
Yeah. So Brioche, I heard you're from the Black Shroud as well.
That I am. Were you not from Charlian?
No, my family. I grew up in the Black Shroud, a small village of Mooncats, plus some random Charlian scholars that decided to stay. It was
I see.
It was very nice. Yeah, that's where I met a lot of travelers there, coming for aid, well, for injuries that they sustain in the travels, and my parents would help them get better.
I see. So you're well versed in the healing arts. I see.
I don't want to brag, but I have healed a few people here and there.
You know, perhaps we might be two opposite ends of a coin. You know,
Perhaps.
It might be better for you if to not get too close to the dark.
So you're scared of the dark? I didn't catch all of that.
No, I said perhaps I'd advise you not to get too close to the dark.
Ah, good thing I have Fey Illumination. Thank you for that advice.
As you're all sitting there, hanging out, chilling, just catching up, I guess, with some newly found acquaintances. Little awkward conversation, but some exchange, some friendly banter.
Look, it's hard to be edgy, okay? I'm trying my best.
You're just taking down your drinks. Each of you is there for your own separate reasons. And, as you're sitting there, we still have our bard sitting on similar side of the room, but a little bit away from you guys, playing on the harp. And you see Rogadin kind of walk into the bar, and he immediately looks over to the bar side there, to the bar table, and he sees the paladin who's propped up there, Gideon. On the back of Gideon is a shield that has a symbol on it that he recognizes. He comes up to Gideon and puts his hand on his shoulder, roughs him a little bit, as Gideon kind of quickly turns around to meet this Rogadin, and he yells kind of at you, says, "That crest on your shield, what symbol do you bear? Bringing that around here." He spits right at your feet.
Sensing the aggravation, I'm going to quickly brush his hand off my shoulder. I stand knocking the bar stool over, clearly ready for a brawl, and I turn towards him, spit on my feet. I say,
Wait, you spit on your own feet?
no, he spit on my feet.
Oh,
He's saying that.
Hey, follow along, Ziggy. Keep up. Let's keep going.
Someone spit on their own feet.
I turn towards him and I say, "You would spit at the symbol of the bowl?"
Mess with the bull and you get the hordes.
Aubrey thinks
Is
to
that what
himself,
Ziggy says?
He's
Is that Ziggy's
feeling
character?
super confident. As this happens,
Wait.
would you like to make?
Oh, so the spit is on Gideon's feet, right?
Yes.
It is
Oh,
towards
just-
his feet. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just to
saw-
verify, I am 6'2". I'm a fucking big motherfucker.
You meet this
I-
guy square in the eyes. And Miko,
Miko
you have
tries to diffuse attention by using prestidigitation to remove the spit from Brooke's feet.
So Miko uses a little
Invincible.
cantrip, prestidigitation, which she mutters to herself, barely saying enough syllables to cast the cantrip. The
Noticing that there is a distinct lack of spit, I spit on Gideon's feet.
I'm so just to verify, I just want to make sure I got that. I am eye to eye with a fucking big ass motherfucker, and then this guy that I've been kind of just talking with just spits on my feet. I get it, like, so I don't look down. I don't see that spit's been cleaned. So just now you're also spitting on my feet. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's some sort of, like, you know, based on my I have a very low intelligence, so based on my understanding of the situation, I thought it was some sort of ritual, a friendly ritual, so I spit on your feet too.
So as an action, I'd like to
before you
put
can
my
even get anywhere with these conversations, you're met with this guy. You're ready to straight up take some action against him. The bard in the corner looks over your way, strums a little extra notes into his melody he's been playing. His tune shifts, and what used to be a somber sound, a song of remembrance for him, is now shifted to a lullaby. And you see this man who was this Roganin that was staring you right in the eyes. He starts to slouch over a little bit, and he's muttering to himself, and he falls asleep at your feet.
Okay. I glare at the bard. It wasn't his place to step in, but I have more immediate issues. I'd like to
Wait, but
kick
you're
over.
not a white mage.
I don't understand the reference.
You're not a white mage. You can't glare.
All right, bad joke. Anyway,
Jeez.
I'd like to put my foot on Bree's stool, and I'd like to kick it over.
All right. I guess that's a pretty straightforward action.
I stare
We're gonna have
Gideon
Bree.
straight in the face.
Bree, you're gonna
And
do
I
me
say,
a dexterity saving
it up.
throw, because there's no way that he's unable to kick this thing over. So as he kicks your stool from underneath you, give me a dexterity saving throw. So as the stool comes up from underneath you with a 14, you catch yourself on your feet as the stool is thrown across the room with a force you weren't really anticipating. But you mutter yourself to your feet, using the scythe as leverage to keep you up. And you casually can turn towards Gideon.
I cast Wicked Strike.
About to start that fight.
Okay, so you're gonna straight up strike me.
no. I take it back. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So you
I didn't
pull out some
want to spit on him. It
dark
was a
magic.
joke.
You get some
Come
dark
on,
magic on you,
guys.
and as you're
No.
you're
I can't be
infusing-
found out here. I wouldn't actually do it.
You're infusing a little bit of dark energy, and your eyes are starting to fade to a blacker shade. You put your hand out to him as you're about to cast a spell. The door to the bar bursts open a second time, and it's Makode, a seeker of the sun, and he rushes into the bar. He says, "I need help. My daughter They got her. This man's obviously out of breath.
I will act like the whole altercation never occurred, seeing it as a petty squabble and more concerned with the helping of this Makote.
Yeah,
So I'll just kind of brush it all aside as I approach him.
What does this Makothi look like?
Well, I am glad you asked. I am not sure if this will work, but let me try to show
It's
you.
perception roll, by the way.
Do you see this? You do not. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put him in the middle of our zone and then show you what he looks like. I did not take this from anywhere. This is our
Nice.
Makote.
He doesn't look very troubled.
He is, in this picture, this is his, like, driver's license photo, you know?
Oh,
It's
Yeah,
just like
put-
him on a good day.
Yeah, just Photoshop a little tears on his face and stuff, you know.
He's very distraught as he claims that his daughter was has been captured.
Yeah, I'm approaching him.
Okay.
I don't want to
And
interrupt
actually,
anyone else if they want to do
so Miko does do a perception check, and just to honor that. So this is clearly a seeker of the sun, and Miko would kind of recognize somebody of that same race as being somebody that's more or less trustworthy. They come from the same kind of area, at least in from what she's familiar with and in her studies. And she could see based on his attire that he appears to be similarly from the Shroud, because that attire is very custom to that area.
Miko also gets up and asks, hold on, what happens?
Oh my god, I've been running so long. He's catching his breath as he very clearly was out of shape from the amount of running he had to do. The east gate. She was outside playing, and these ogre creatures, they've cornered her, and I can't fight.
Sorry, is he done?
He's done.
Okay, I'd like to turn towards Bree.
Who is naturally still on his stool because
I'd like to turn towards Bree and I say, petty differences aside, this man needs help and you're able-bodied. I recognize strength when I see it. Will you help me?
quietly I whisper, perhaps, and leave the establishment.
All right, so we have Aubrey walking out. Gideon, I assume are you gonna follow after him, or?
I'm gonna scan the room for any other warrior types.
So the people that you actually give me a perception check just to see. Cool, 19. So with that roll, you see, obviously you have a scholar that you've met in Miko. You cannot miss this very intimidating man at the other end of the bar, whom you've not spoken with, but wields this massive greatsword. You also know that there's an unconscious, Rogadin brawler in front of you, who seems like he could pull a punch, but is very clearly knocked out and does not like you. And you also know of the bard that is currently playing his music.
Okay. I would like to grab the Mikito, not grab him. I will just like address him closely. You know, I'll say, if it is within my power, I will save your daughter. And I turn and I say, Miko, I know you're just a humble healer, but would you come and help me?
Of course, I say.
Excellent. And I go towards, I don't know his name at the time, but the tall, intimidating fella in the corner. And I walk up to address him.
All right, so we have Gideon approaching Atlas.
And I place my hand on his shoulder. I say, excuse me, sir. But if it's not too much trouble, all the bodies we can get. and you look like the strong, capable type. Will you help me?
Atlas responds. Atlas finishes his ale and he finishes his ale and then just says, "You spend too much time talking, and if I were you, I would have already been halfway there, like your friend that left earlier," and begrudgingly agrees to follow them to save the Miko's daughter.
Well,
The Makote's daughter, yeah.
halfway there, but you're still here, huh? Then let's get moving.
All right.
And we fucking corral out. Let's roll out,
So-
Autobots.
The Autobots are moving. You guys exit the bar, and you are now looking just outside of the bar here at the Shard. You know that they said that the daughter was lost at the Eastern Gate. But you guys don't really know the area here. So why don't you guys give me a quick... we'll do an investigation check to figure out where you are. It's not too hard to figure it out. All right.
You know, I'm
Directions. God damn it.
gonna roll a history check so I know exactly. Calling from my
Oh
mind. That,
shoot. Okay. So as you've all left, we have Bree who's led the charge. Bree is standing outside the bar, absolutely confused which way they are looking. Even though they left first, they still are stuck outside of the front door. As he starts to go the wrong way, Gideon grabs him by the shoulder and says, "This way." Points to the other direction.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab him. He's like looking west, and I don't say anything to him, but I just grab his arm, give him a quick pull, and I let go immediately, and just start walking east towards the east gate.
As you guys are walking towards the gate, luckily Miko actually has, upon entering Mordona, has done a little bit of research into the area and knows that just outside of the east gate here is the mountainside to the area, specifically for the Silver Tier Mountains. And the area that you're going to be going into has a lot of higher up terrain, a little bit more of a lower value valleys next to the water side there. So team is going to make their way over to the plains. And now we have
Makito is here.
our little Makote has made it along with you.
Look, I think you've been changing the way you say it every single time.
I do. It's part of my character.
Gideon is playing a character right now. He doesn't know the difference.
Is Brooke's character Gideon like just as like dyslexic as Brooke?
Oblivious and dyslexic. That is both true.
So, as your characters enter in from the northern end, our Makote friend here has brought you into the area. Since you, based on your roles, I would imagine we have out front we have Gideon. Being pulled is our friend Aubrey here. Following a little bit at a distance behind Atlas, and then Miko as well. And then we have our Makote friend. So you guys are right here. Why don't you guys, as you're kind of quickly approaching, give me a perception check as you're entering the plains here. Ooh, dang, you guys are rolling good.
I'm perceptive as fuck.
Okay, cool.
He's perceptive.
So,
Don't worry about this.
as you're entering, we have Atlas in the back there is just chilling at a little bit of a distance, but obviously very concerned to be a part of this engagement, as you feel it is your obligation to save this person. But as you look down in the plains, you can see the resemblance of a fight, or at least an altercation that you would like to obviously intervene in, but you can't quite
Wait.
make out too much about the enemies that you
Wait.
see.
Wait, hold on. Before I came out here, I summoned my fairy.
Of course.
I also summoned my guy.
So, you have two fairies to choose from. You have Celine and you have Eos.
Yeah, let's go with Eos.
All right. Eos enters the fight. So we have, I'm just going to show everyone Eos because Eos looks so adorable.
Oh yeah.
As Miko looks down, sees the orcs, or the ogre, sorry, she summons her fairy, Eos. She has a close bond with this fae. It's a little fairy humanoid, but pixie at the same time character. We also then have our perception check from Bree, who looks down and sees the two ogres. Noticing that, with the horns and the way that they stand, he also notices that there's a little bit of fire at the ground by which, when they walk. And they are approaching a smaller girl that he sees. An adorable little thing.
Oh, goodness. We have to save her.
Dang, it's gonna suck if she gets killed. As she's trapped and pinned against this wall that you see on the cliffside there. We also have our perception check from Gideon. Gideon looking down there with a, we'll call it dirty 20, which is a roll of an 18 plus 2. Looks down and sees the two ogres, kind of quickly noticing, some features about them very similar to what we saw with Bree's check, but also noticing not only with the fire and the horns that they have, but you can see that these creatures definitely look like they have this person or the individual surrounded, but they're not quite closing in yet. They're kind of more doing a territory standoff than anything. As we had before combat, we also have our Void Avatar shifting. So we have Bree, who, when seeing this, manages to summon from their body the shadow, the eminence that has been coming across their around their body, this swirl of darkness and void magic. It shifts off of Bree's person and forms like a black cloud as it morphs into a figure resembled mainly by kind of a hooded shroud that tapers off at the end into a tail of smoke, and you see a face of white illuminate, almost as if a mask over top of this shrouded character, and then these giant claws that are tipped in red emanate from the hands, from what you would imagine kind of a upper torso to a ghost looking like. And we have the Void Avatar summoned in right next to Bree.
So, with them taking actions, can I take in a movement action?
So these are just part of their normal summons. As you are seeing this, I am going to have everyone do a well, I guess, yeah, you're overlooking at the rocks here, so you have kind of an element of surprise to attack. So without necessarily moving, if you choose to move, we'll make you do some stealth, but you do have very little time to make your way over.
I think with my perception check and seeing the little girl early,
yep.
My movement would be instinctual.
Okay.
Probably during the summonings, I'd be making my, like, I don't even see Eos, I don't see the
So
shadow.
are you gonna run headlong in?
I'm running in.
All right, we're gonna say, let me just check real quick on
Wait.
our enemies.
I'm gonna follow behind him as well. I'm gonna follow behind Gideon.
Or before we start, what's the red, green, and blue circles on my character doing?
Oh yeah, so we can track your health if you would like to. with like some of these values. These are values if you want to keep track of anything on the token itself as opposed to the character sheet. So before we talked about creating an HP bar. So if you want to set those up real quick, we can do that before too much is done, before we're in combat. Cool. Just some meta knowledge stuff. I will be keeping track of all the ogre's health as well as the NPCs since they're not like part of your party here. So anyway, now that that's taken care of, you guys said instinctually. So we have Aubrey summoning the shadow avatar, the void avatar, with Miko summoning Eos on the side. Meanwhile, during that, with the perception check that we had from Gideon, Gideon's going to run headlong into battle. We also have Atlas following quickly behind. So I'm going to move you guys into what would be the passive perception of our ogres, which I'm just going to quickly check on.
So based on my earlier history check, do I know if there's any invisible monsters in this area?
Invisible?
Well, I mean, you did a history check on leaving Mordona, so you know things about Mordona, and because you had a critical, you also knew about some of the surrounding area. But you wouldn't know about any of the specific stuff outside, you know, like the other wildlife. But you have already kind of taken your quick action. So now that you have your stuff set up, we are going to go into combat, I believe. So with that, I'm gonna have I guess I'll narrate real quick. The battle that you see ahead of you is that as the void avatar is summoned and as the Fae is summoned, we see a scene where the two I'll call it the two more rushed individuals that are more concerned, I guess, with getting a party together, and our tag-along male Vieira, who are very concerned that saw the enemy and had a pretty good idea of what they were getting themselves into, decided to rush into battle. They're moving ahead, and as we do that, we are entering combat with two ogres. We have the cornered Makote. We have the man who cannot fight hiding behind a rock. And we have our two summoners of sorts in the back there. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. I will roll initiative. I'm going to do this interesting. So instead of rolling the ogre's initiative out front, I have with me a number of dice that I'm just going to roll them and let you know when that comes into play. I'll roll their attacks public, but that way it's kind of hidden. I'll put in the ogres when they start moving. I'll mix them in to where they should be. Cool.
What about Mikote, Catboy, and
Catboy is taking full actions to hide because he does not fight.
Oh, I see.
I will actually no. I'm gonna roll for the little girl as well. So I've rolled for the little girl as well. And I will keep track of them. So at the top of the turn order is actually Atlas listed up there. So Atlas, you get to make your first move. Remembering in combat, you have basically 3 main things to do. I guess 4 if you want to count it. But you have movement, which you can do at any point. You have based on your speed. Each of the tiles that you can kind of barely see are 5 feet. Some of the terrain that's in the area, I'll let you know if it's an obstacle of which you can't overcome, or if there's anything in your way. You also have your main action, which is like your abilities, your attacks, your spells, that kind of stuff. Then bonus actions, if you have any, that you can do as well on your turn. And then kind of like a sort of a 4th thing, if you wanted to make any checks or anything like that, you could do those within reason. Remembering every turn is realistically 6-second snapshot of your fight. So with that, you're up first.
All right. So basically, be hot, sexy, and edgy. All right.
It's a good start.
Okay, how far can I move? Like 35 feet, right? Yeah, 35 feet. Alright. So, being as in a hurry as we are to save the girl, I rush to the closest ogre, which is 25 feet, and use my greatsword.
Cool. Go ahead and roll your attack. You can just
Yeah,
click
roll.
on the attack.
How do I affect that?
Specific weapon. So
It'll be in your actions on your character sheet.
Oh, there we go. I'm clicking like the greatsword itself.
Ooh.
So you rolled a 7.
does that add the +4 to that roll automatically, or do you add that?
Yeah, it should. It should automatically.
Okay.
If like you hover over it, it'll tell you like how it does it.
So since you guys were dashing into combat without any stealthy approach, there's no special advantage on these attacks. They definitely can hear you coming. So this ogre is going to turn to you, and as you swing your greatsword in their general direction, they kind of move over to the side, and the greatsword gets stuck into the earth at their feet as you pull it back. No damage is dealt.
Blast this bloody elf orc.
Ogre.
Hell.
I've been playing a little too much Dragon Age, okay?
All right. That's your turn, right?
I don't think I have any bonus actions for they. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. All right. Moving to Aubrey's next. So Aubrey, for your turn, it's going to be kind of unique. You have your movement, and then you have your action and your bonus action. If you would like to, you can use your movement, and then you can use your action. As a bonus action, you can control your Void avatar to move into position and to basically do its attack. If you don't spend your bonus action on your avatar, it's just going to sit there and use a dodge automatically.
Okay.
How does it move? I just press and hold Q.
You're dragging your character, and you just have to press Q.
So how much movement was that?
30 feet.
Okay, so your movement plus your Void avatar. So there's a couple of things that you can do as well that we haven't mentioned even in the test game. For your actions, something that just everyone can do, you can spend an action on what's called a dash. And a dash basically allows you to hit the sprint key. You can move twice your movement. If you do that, you are using your action, so you're effectively moving twice as far, but you're unable to attack at the end of that movement. You can also spend another action on what is called a help. So if you were able to describe to me some way that you could help another one of your party members, you can spend your action to give them advantage. So, for example, if somebody was going to, I guess, try to make an attack on an ogre, you were standing next to them, you wanted to use the help action, you could give help to one of your party members, and when it's their turn and they roll for an attack, they would get to roll 2 die because you are helping them by lifting them into the air, giving them a jumping attack. It gives them like twice the opportunity to hit. Still does the one attack, but you're helping them in that action of doing it. So I say that now because you've used your movement. You have an action if you have a spell you'd like to use, or you could dash as well.
I'll
Wait.
move.
Damn,
Here.
Paper sucks. I can just move my my fairy without using any action.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna do dash action to get on the other side of the ogre.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, that's your turn. We now go to actually the ogre that you guys are looking at. So I'm going to move him into the combat. He also rolled a 12. So it is actually his turn right now. Ogre is gonna to look at the two of you. He saw the one swinging the great sword, so he's gonna turn over to that guy there, Atlas, and this guy has quite an attack for you. He has a trait called multi-attack, which allows him basically to make 2 attacks. The first is with a fist. The next is a goring attack. So he's going to swing a fist over at Atlas. He rolls a 12. Atlas, what is your armor class?
My armor class is a 14, so it does not hit.
So he swings a fist at you. It's very similar to how you missed the great sword. You duck out of his fist and he misses. But he's going to go ahead and try to hit you with his horns now. Rolls a 17 on that.
It do be hitting.
All right, so if he hits you with that, there we go.
I don't know how to calculate that damage.
This would be 6 piercing damage. So you take 6 damage.
That's like 19th health.
This guy hurts. As
I'm
you're hit with his
dying.
horns, you realize you are wearing, I think, hide armor, and you're fighting a big boy, a big boy.
Makes it that much more fun.
Yeah. So that will be his turn. We now go to Nico.
Oh, yeah. Alright. So, I will move up 30 feet. Biggest 30 feet, I think. I guess right now. And my fairy also move up 30 feet.
Okay, so that would be
Yeah.
your bonus action to move it.
No, actually, I can just move my fairy. It just moves
Oh,
on
does
its
it
own.
does it follow with you?
No, it just uses its own move to move.
Okay.
It's not a bonus action.
Interesting.
Actually, wait, let me make sure it has the same amount of movement.
Yeah,
yeah,
should
30
have
feet.
30.
Yeah, I should have 30 feet. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Reaper sucks, man. It just says right here. Let's see. Where does it say? Hold on. In combat, your ethereal ally acts during your turn. It can move and use this reaction on its own, but the only action it takes is the dodge action.
Interesting. Cool. All right, so fairy follows you.
Yep. So it gets Miko to see some shit is going on over there.
That's exactly what she thinks. This Charlian stupid.
So she's gonna cast Bless.
Bless. All right, so you, as your action, you're gonna bless the 3 creatures of your choice within range. Whenever that target makes an attack roll or saving throw, for that duration, which is up to a minute, it's about 10 turns.
I will bless.
They get
3
to roll
dudes.
an extra d4 and add that number to all of their attack rolls. That is for the ability to hit, not the damage. You also can do it at. So this is a. Is this level 1 spell?
Yeah, level 1.
It also says you can use it at level 2, so you let me know what you want to do.
Just use level 1.
Cool.
Stop for now.
You get to bless up to 3 creatures of your choice.
Alright, I'll bless the 3 dudes.
3 dudes. Okay, so the Makote hanging out behind the rock. You're gonna bless him.
Is he a dude?
You wanna bless this guy?
No, not really.
Okay.
Alright,
You gotta be
I'll
very
bless,
specific.
I'll bless what's his face? Brioche. I'll bless dark, moody man, intimidating man that I don't know the name of yet. And I'll bless Gideon.
Cool.
And I think that reaches, right? 30
bless.
feet. Let me see.
Bless
Yeah, that's 30 feet.
and bless. Y'all just got blessed. Beautiful.
You can thank me later.
You have
And,
bonus action still.
On my bonus action, I make Eos do a Fey Lance.
Cool.
Let's see. Fey Lance. And that, or sorry, Fey Bolt. Fey Bolt. How do I? There we go.
Baybolt. So Eos. So Eos is. I wrote out Eos as more of an NPC, so their roles are just like straight.
Oh, I see.
They look different.
see.
She rolls a dirty 20, which
Dirty
means
20,
they rolled a 16, adds 4 with proficiency bonuses and spells stuff. So who's she casting this on?
And she's casting this on the orc
Ogre.
that's in between ogre. It's in between
All right, this guy here. Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Roll damage for me.
Let's see here.
That's gonna hit him.
1d4.
So we see a shining bolt of magical energy come through and just tink. Just kind of tickle this dude.
Well, it does. Hold on. It's 2 plus 3 plus 2. So
Oh,
actually that's 7 damage.
okay. 7
Wait,
damage.
actually no. Wait, is it 7? Yeah, 7 damage. Yeah.
All right, does a little more than tickles this dude. Catches him right in the shoulder. He's already kind of fiery, yet he sustains more of a burn than you would expect, as that magical energy reacts a little bit and gives him a
Eos.
scar mark.
Good job. I pat Eos.
Okay, cool. Miko is done. We now go to Gideon.
Okay. I would like to. I'm going to do this orc as well, and I'm going to roll to hit with my shield.
Cool. Shield this dude. Hit him with shield.
Wait, that doesn't have my modifiers on it. It should have strength on it.
Yeah. What we're gonna do.
Strength. Okay. We'll do.
So
I'm gonna modify.
go ahead and roll your numbers for me.
I keep clicking.
Just do your strength. So what this is as a paladin, Gideon has a shield which we've kind of homebrewed into basically doing the following. It's going to be an opposed check between Gideon's strength. So he's going to do a strength throw, and the monster or the target is going to do either a dexterity saving throw or a strength saving throw, and this will be opposed to Gideon's.
I get advantage on it because he's flanked.
So the way we talked about it is you'd have to be on opposite sides of him, which you currently are not. So I would say he can see out of the corner of his eye, and he would be able to fend off normally against this. Right now, who has advantage would be Atlas and Aubrey, in the way that we described. So, you roll an 8 against his roll. I am going to do that in the chat as well. He's going to make a strength saving throw. He rolls a 24.
7 orc.
You definitely
Yeah,
did not
yeah.
knock him down.
You can out
Pretty
of-
damn good roll.
get out of 1d4 if you want.
True. You get to add a D4 if you'd like to. It ain't gonna make the difference, though.
You know what? I'll save it.
Okay. It's free, but anyway.
It's free.
Yeah. Needless to say, you bash your shield into the side of this guy, and the ogre just hit in the arm. It looks at you. It doesn't suffer any damage from that, but you definitely got his attention because he's mad. With that, you have a bonus action or not?
No, I'm gonna save my bonus action. I will not spend it.
All right, that is your turn. We are going to go to the little girl's turn, actually. She rolled in at a 6, which is very good for her, because otherwise she would be attacked by this ogre you left completely open. With her movement, she sees that you are occupying the one ogre over here. She's going to move over underneath the tree behind this rock here and is going to try and hide I'm just gonna do a roll on my own, and I have her hiding. Cool. So she is attempting currently to hide behind this rock. I guess just in passive perception, since you guys are all here, as she attempts to hide, you all see her very clearly. So you notice she's not doing a very good job just by your passive perception. It is now the ogre's turn. The other ogre's turn, who rolled a nat 1, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Slow boy.
Oh boy.
This ogre is just sees the little girl go away, but also sees his friend in trouble. He is going to move over to our friend Aubrey here and attempt the same course of action and try to attack Aubrey. We're gonna roll fists on him.
I don't know if you want to declare this, if you want me to declare this before you roll or after, but I try and cover.
This would be a reaction. So he rolls a 20. So are you covering this attack?
Yeah, I'm covering. Yeah, I'm covering it.
This is hitting him. So you are taking this damage instead. It is 7 bludgeoning damage. So as the fist comes out to hit this shadowy figure, the Reaper, we see a reaction come out from Gideon as he shoots this interesting-looking tether, I guess, but more or less comes in front and dashes to his aid and shields the attack, taking the damage on himself, taking 7 points. Fight is not over, though, and this is a goring attack. This one will not be covered. Rolls a 16. Does that hit you? He's rolling a 16 against you. I doubt you have it.
12.
So he ends up hitting you, does 6 damage to you.
Sorry, not 12, 14. Doesn't matter. Okay.
So
Check
you
it out.
have you've seen our paladin friend Gideon jump in front of you, taking the fist. But as he takes the fist, he's knocked back to his previous position, and the horns come out and strike you for 6 damage. It is now back up to the top of the order, Atlas's turn.
Right. So I'm assuming this one right here is close to dying, but this one right here,
Has not been touched.
you know what? I want to give his little friend some love. So I am still within range, so
Correct. Yep.
no opportunity of attacks. So I go up to him and I attack him with my greatsword.
Ooh, good roll. That straight up hits him. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right.
You can click on the word greatsword underneath. It'll roll for you.
Oh, can I?
Yep. 8. Oh, what is
Wow,
it? You
nice,
roll a
nice
D8, don't
damage.
you? You roll. Okay, you roll 2d6 plus 2. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you're hitting this guy, correct?
Yeah.
Right on. You take him down to 8 points, or you take 8 points of damage, rather. From him, sword cutting his arm, get a slit on the side there, as this man is starting to bleed a little bit.
Yeah, I cut his arm off. All right.
Nah,
Wait, did I cut his arm off? Or
arm's
just
not
his
cut
arm?
off. He just got a big gash in
Okay.
his arm. He's definitely still standing up. You have bonus action?
No, that's just it for my turn.
Cool. We now have Aubrey. Your turn.
So does my Arm of Hades attack my teammates too?
If it says creature, then yes. Unless it's
Yes,
targeted.
all creatures.
It would hit your teammates.
Shit. Hold on. Well. Okay. I use this move. Hold on. I'm sorry. I
That's
use
all right.
inflict
It's new characters.
wounds.
Cool. Make a melee spell attack against a creature that you can reach. On hit, the target takes 3d10 of necrotic damage, because why balance the game when you can do 3d10? You get a melee spell attack on this guy. So you would roll for this. Let's do a d20. Add your spell bonus, your spell attack bonus, which should be like 4.
My spell, my wisdom, or my intelligence?
So just give me a d20 and we'll work out the math.
Okay.
Also, which one are you hitting? Oh god.
The one to my right.
Okay.
I don't think it matters now, but
So
wait, wouldn't no, because it says spell save. Wouldn't the guy? Wouldn't it just be him rolling?
Yeah, there's no way you could roll 1 because you have your spell. You should have modifiers to your spell. At the very least, your
so
proficiency
they say
bonus.
it would be a melee spell attack. So I would have said d20, add your spell attack bonus to that, and then you also have bless, which you can roll a d4. However, you rolled a nat 1. And every one of those bonuses, if you maximized them, would still not hit this dude. So as you try to inflict wounds, you just straight up try to swing your scythe, try to swing your scythe towards this ogre, and then realize inflict wounds is a spell, and so you try to drop your scythe. And sheath it while casting at the same time, and it ends up putting a whole bunch of necromancy magic into the earth next to you, with the ogre not hurt any bit.
Damn.
Onlookers. So, that would be your action. Did you move during that? I don't think you did. So you have movement if you need, or you also have your bonus action for the Reaper, for the Avatar.
Great. My Reaper right here and attack.
Cool. He is getting advantage on the attack. Go ahead and make your attack with him.
This one? Yeah, I can't click
Oh, there
it.
you go. Yeah, you clicked it right there. So Rend rolls a 16. Yeah, that hits him. You have 16 or a 6, but 16 hits. So you can roll
Wait,
me
hold on.
damage.
Let me check
that.
something. Oh yeah. Okay, that is my roll. Okay.
Cool.
Sorry.
Roll me damage on that. I think if you click the word attack, it'll do it. I could be wrong. There you go. 9 damage to this dude. All right, he is going downtown. Cool. As you swing into this guy, he is getting real bloodied up, and you see one of his knees wobble a little bit. That ends your turn. The ogre is back up. It is his turn, the guy that is completely surrounded. And in that, he is going to cast an ability here. Or, I guess, more of an action more than a spell casting. So he is, well, he's doing this. Let me read it to you. So, this is a Haplet ogre. The Haplet conjures a global, I don't know what that word is, of fiery oil between its horns and points it where it can see within 30 feet. All creatures in a 5-foot radius from that point must make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 fire damage on a failed save. Creatures in that area are ignited until a creature takes an action to douse that fire. The ignited creature will take 1d4 fire damage at the start of every one of their turns. On a successful save, the creatures are taking half damage, and they don't catch on fire. So he is going to shoot that fire actually right here, which is, you would think, also going to hit him because it's a 5-foot radius, so it's basically everywhere you see this indicator blinking. That would mean I need a dexterity saving throw from Gideon and for the Avatar. The Avatar, you would need to roll for him, so do a dexterity check on Avatar. It's an 8. You would need to beat.
I'm making great use of
You
that.
need to beat a 9. The Avatar does not make it. Gideon, even with Bless, you're not going to make that. So you both are taking 1d8 fire damage, which I roll a 2 for. So you take 2 damage. You want to mark that, Ziggy, on your Avatar as well. And you are now both on fire. As this dude shoots some fire out on the field, you also notice he gets hit by the fire, but is taking no amount of strain. You don't see him like hinder anything. I'll give you guys a mark for fire. It is one considered action to put out the fire. Cool. That is our ogre's turn. It's Miko's turn now.
Ah. It is. So it is.
Poor ogre, he's literally surrounded.
Poor ogre, man.
Baka, do you have rain? Can you put this out?
No, I don't have rain. I thought about it. I was looking at prestidigitation and it just can't, it doesn't have enough power.
Aren't you like Aqua, dude? Shouldn't you have passive rain?
I should, but I don't think I was even given that option as a spell.
That's a Divinity 2 thing.
Alright, let's see. Well,
You can, I will say, you know that whole help action thing? You can spend your action to put out the fire on somebody else. You'd have to be in range of them, though.
I think I would do that. No way. No way,
It's up to you.
Jose.
Remember, too, you met these people not even, like, 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I could put them out and then they could catch me on fire, you know? Who knows what would happen?
Miko sits there trying to think of what to do, wasting precious time.
No, this is during the other people's turns, alright? I'm thinking during their turns.
Miko's very self-conscious about what other people think of her.
Exactly.
So she wants to make a big, grand display. She thinks about casting a little water fountain in her hand, but she's that's not enough to put out the fire. Maybe it would help.
Yeah. I really thought about using prestidigitation, man. Prestidigitation.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Give me an Arcana check.
Arcana. Damn.
Yeah,
Not
prestidigitation probably wouldn't do anything.
Damn. Feels bad. Alright. So, I'm gonna use my bonus action. Have Eos Fey, what was it called again? Fey Bolt.
Hey, Bolt. Cool.
Yeah.
Make sure you
Alright,
do-
so let's see.
21. Boom. Hits him straight in the face.
Nice.
Roll damage. If you click on the attack, it should roll for you. 8
Whoa.
radiant damage. That is 1d4
pretty
plus
good.
3 plus 2. So yeah, that's all the bonuses.
Pretty good.
8 damage. Are you hitting the one that's surrounded or the one that's farther away?
Yeah, the one that's surrounded.
The one that is surrounded. He gets hit smacked in the face. I'm doing math in my head. This dude is hurt. His weak knee that was wobbling now breaks under him, and he goes down to one knee before getting back up.
Let's see. Alright,
You have your action still, and your movement, and a million thoughts in your head of what to do.
that's true.
Miko's never been in a real fight before.
I know.
She's seen it so many times.
Wait, can I attack diagonally?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna move up here and join my melee buddies.
Are you gonna smack?
I'm gonna use my
Smack her with the
dagger. Damn,
Oh, you have a dagger with you.
I do.
You roll an 8. Dude, this is such a cool moment. So Miko is like, okay, cool. I see them all surrounded. This is my time. I've never been in a fight before. She charges down the hill, runs up to the ogre, and tries to stab it with the dagger and hits him right in the chest with the blunt end of the dagger. And then realizes you probably aren't going to do any damage with that.
Wait, so she's holding the blade?
She's got it gripped, but like swings it as if it's like a hammer, and hits him with the blunt end of the dagger. It's like if in the Psycho scene where like the shower scene where they stab him with the blade. Imagine that, but the blade was the other way around. It's kind of what we just saw.
Well,
That is Miko's movement in action.
I'm good. Wait,
Or
actually,
you can move away. Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna move over here. I'm gonna ferry over and then slink away in shame.
Cool. Gideon, your turn.
Swing to hit with my longsword.
Sounds good. Longsword swing. You can add bless to that if you'd like. You would just do me a roll 1d4.
I don't think I need to. It's with advantage.
This is with advantage. You're right.
Wait,
Straight
did
up
I have
smack.
advantage? With
No.
my 9?
No,
Damn it.
I didn't. Based on our rules. Plus, it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, you're right. You do have advantage. That 22 is gonna hit him right in the nose, if he had one. Roll me damage. So you click on the word longsword, like next to your roll. Sweet, 9 damage. This guy's hurt. This guy, he took. So you saw he had a weak knee, and he has a standing knee. Which one do you want to swing at?
I'm gonna go for the standing knee, try and make him prone.
So he had a weak knee. You swing at his other leg. His other leg gets cut straight in, where you can start to see more of a skeletal structure of this massive ogre. And he is weak in the knees, but he is barely standing up. We have your bonus action movement if you'd like it.
Nothing.
Cool. We now go to our Makote friend who is standing over here, the little girl. She is once again going to continue her hide. She is hiding where I believe the majority of you can still see her completely just behind this rock. She thinks she's hiding though. We now are going to go to our other ogre friend, who is our last in the lineup. And he is going to once again cast his fiery attack in the same spot. He's going to cast it right here.
Wait, did you?
Ooh.
Didn't the last fire thing hit the other ogre?
It hit these guys are immune to fire.
Oh, I see.
Actually, Gideon, I need you to roll 1d4 as well, because at the start of your turn you were taking fire damage.
I should roll that on his turn, right? Or is it at the start of my turn?
It says it is at the start of your turn.
Okay. Okay, so 1 damage.
Nice, cool. Barely hits. You're on fire, but you could not help but swing at the guy's knees. We are having the other ogre here attack. He's going to shoot his fireball in the same spot because he sees a prime opportunity to hit a lot of people. So he is going to do fire water. He is going to roll a 4. Huge. Does that hit anybody? I'm just kidding. You have a dexterity saving throw, actually. So give me a dex throw. Gideon, I need it from the Reaper, the Avatar, and I need it from Miko. Dexterity saving throw. Nimbly dashing away from the fire. You guys are going to take half damage to this. A 7 becomes a 3. We're rounding down. So everyone here is going to take 3 damage between Gideon, the Avatar, and Miko. You are not on fire, though, other than the fact that Gideon and the Reaper are already on fire. Cool. That is the end of the ogre's turn. We're back at the start of the rounds. Atlas, your turn.
Is this guy not dead?
He is not dead, but you look at him.
Why is he not dead?
Just,
He basically got his knees chopped off at this point.
I don't know. You could ask him if you want.
Hey, why are you not dead?
Would you like you wanna call out to him? You wanna give him an intimidation check and just like straight up talk to him?
Talk to him into leaving.
You just scare him to death, dude.
All right. Let me see if I can give him a heart attack.
Yeah, give me an intimidation check. 'Cause you're gonna try and taunt him. I thought this was gonna happen. So this is our first natural 20. That's why it's highlighted in green, which which means that he basically crits that check. So you are the most intimidating man. Atlas, you're standing not exactly at equal height to him, but your presence alone is terrifying. You are the symbol of, like, if you could picture a dark warrior or a man with like a great sword that just absolutely walks towards you, has no flicker of resistance. The scariest thing that you're terrified to go up one-on-one against. You embody that. And as he looks towards you, you get to say your most intimidating line to him.
Why are you not dead?
As you say, "Why are you not dead?" he contemplates the thought. and in thinking through that, he is so already weak that he drops to his knees, and in doing the knees, the gash that was in the knee from Gideon's slit rips open even further. His weak knee from the earlier abrasions gives out, and he falls dead to the ground. We have killed an ogre. That is your bonus action, I will say. Just saying that was a crit intimidation. You have your action.
Somebody was like, there's somebody be like, "Yo, why aren't you dead?"
He was
basically just, "Can you die already?"
This guy was
like, "All right,
so
fine."
close. I was like, if you crit this, I'll give it to you. And you got it. That's D&D for you. All right. The Abyssal, by the way, his only words back to you are because he only speaks Abyssal.
All right. I basically stare back at his friend and say, "Well, you're gonna be joining him soon," and attack him with the greatsword.
Hit him. 21 hits. Roll damage. 11 slashing damage is a nice number. I have to do math in my head. Got it. Cool. Big gash out of the side of him, and similar to his friend who was weak in the knees, you get another stab at his chest, his abdomen.
Don't you get extra damage from Holy?
Ripping in. So Holy will help you in the actual roll. So he rolled a 21 in this case. If he needed to go any higher, I would have asked him to add Holy to that. He can roll a d4 to add on top of 21 in order to try and hit. Holy will not help your damage itself.
Okay.
So it'll help you get hits in. Speaking of getting hits in, Aubrey, it's now your turn.
Okay.
Cool. Moving over to the flank. You now have advantage on your attack.
Okay. Yep.
You are so lucky you got advantage because you rolled a nat 1, which is why it's red.
Again?
But
Fuck.
with advantage, it becomes an 18, and we ignore the first roll. So an 18
Alright.
does hit. 10 slashing damage to this big boy. He gets a big gash. You know that the great sword made this like scar from his like upper right breast down to his stomach. You follow a very similar path, this time with the scythe. And as you swing through him, the gash starts to open up even more. And you see like a hallowy or a cry of like these trapped spirits within your scythe kind of scream out as like that rips apart his chest. Big damage. You have your bonus action still.
Can I still move or no?
Yeah, you can move. You moved 5 feet total.
Okay.
Cool.
I attack again.
As you move over, his focus shifts, and the Reaper, the avatar, comes in behind for an advantage attack.
Alright, Koji Fox, do your thing.
Which you
Attack.
Rolls a 12 and an 11. That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage. 6 slashing damage comes out on the dude here. The back, so we have a cut across the front. The big Reaper claws of this avatar slash him 3 strikes across his back. And this boy is hurt. So he's hurt. We now go to Miko.
All right. So, say he's hurt.
This is a hurt boy.
Fuck him up! Fuck him up!
I'm pulling out the big guns. Boom!
Holy shit, Miko has guns?
Oh yeah.
Thought you were gonna book
Oh,
slap.
She has a gat.
She has a dagger and a book slap. All right, chromatic orb. You hurl a 4-inch diameter sphere of energy at a creature that you can see within range. You choose either acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder for the type of orb that you create. You need to make a ranged spell attack against your target. If the attack hits, then the creature takes 3d8 damage of the type you choose. So give me a element.
Who's fire?
Wait, they're immune to
Fire,
fire.
they're immune to fire.
They're immune to fire.
Exactly, that's the whole
God.
point. I was trying to scam you.
Damn, getting scammed by your team.
Well, how do I make a ranged spell attack?
I'm gonna have you roll a d20 and add your spell attack modifier.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
19 hits.
My spell attack
which
bonus is
element?
You know, they're immune to fire, so I guess they should be weak to ice, right? I'll make cold.
Cool. So we have a cool ball of ice. So you're reaching down to the earth. You've heard so much about this area and the aether that flows through it. You look off to the side and you see, Mount Silvertear here. You have the water across your way on the southern side. And you know that this land is etherically charged. And as you touch the ground, you pull up this orb of frost, and it emanates in your hand, this 4-inch diameter sphere of energy. And you're going to shoot this straight past the avatar, right past our friend Atlas here, hitting the ogre right in the back that he was just gashed in. And the explosion freezes over on the cuts as this ogre cries out in pain. It's something to the extent of because he speaks Abyssal. And the avatar turns to you and almost as if he understood what just happened, and he kind of nods. The ogre straight up freezes over, goes down to his knees, falls down, frozen, dead.
Wow. Damn. Didn't even have to roll damage.
Because it didn't matter how much damage you did.
I see.
I would like to
3D
resolve
3D8.
combat by putting out the fire that is on me.
Oh shit! I would have done a shit ton too.
Cool. You would at the start of your next turn, so you're gonna still take fire damage. So give me a 1d4.
Wait. I have not ended my turn. And I'm going to use a phase shield on Gideon.
As a bonus action?
Bonus
Yeah,
action?
it's bonus action. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, so shield is 1d4 plus your spell casting ability modifier. So roll me a d4.
Alright, so he gets a 7 shield. 3 plus 4.
Cool. Alright, you get a temp shield of 7. We'll do that by creating it as another value.
Damn, good thing you got that shield.
We'll just put it as I took 1 damage. Whoops. No. What was I?
You took no damage. 'Cause that was a 7 shield.
So you
Oh, it didn't
roll-
add your modifier.
Yeah.
Yep, so you roll a 4. That takes away from your shield that you've been given. I added it as a blue thing for you. So there you go. You put yourself out. I will remove that action there. The Reaper is going to take 4 damage as well.
Whoa, wait. Henry's moving next. I think. Wait, who's moving next?
That is true. Henry.
Well, combat is officially over. But...
yeah, combat would be over. But just in terms of like actions that would happen before the Reaper could make an action, we would have Atlas. So Atlas, you can decide if you would like to put out the Reaper from fire.
No.
What? Come on.
You're the only one that would be able to. Otherwise, he takes damage.
I don't know. I don't trust this Reaper
Yeah, the ghost is
with
a little
his
sketchy.
dark aura, with this pastry bread's dark aura.
As he contemplates, time has passed. He loses the opportunity to. Aubrey, though, technically, in your turn, I'll give you the ability to put him out.
No, I have a better idea. I fuse back with him, so he's put out anyway.
Doesn't that put you on fire?
Yeah,
No, because actually,
You know
this
what?
fire.
That's-
What you don't understand is that my void avatar actually turns into a fire avatar, and then when I put him back into his Pokeball, he actually comes out back as a Charmander.
Evo!
Charmander.
So
That's a pretty good starter.
as Atlas,
Charmander, I choose you.
as
So
we
this is Dust
see
Skull.
as we see Atlas just stare at the avatar on fire. He stutters to put it out for some reason or another, even though you have just fought this battle on the same side. And before the avatar rolls any damage or anything, you see it be sucked back in towards Aubrey and forms together the bond. The fire dissipates as the avatar basically shifts into another cloud of smoke. The fire is snuffed out, and the avatar is now fused again with Aubrey as Aubrey glows in this shadowy form. And with that, we are out of combat.
This should be pretty fast. It's only 2
It's
enemies.
just
It's
two.
only
Yeah,
Final
it's just two
30.
ogres.
Okay,
Really?
I'll stay up for this. I
You
didn't know it
know,
was gonna be. I didn't know if it was gonna be like a 2-hour combat or not or something.
It's two
This-
ogres.
this
It's
is
not
gonna
gonna
be
be like.
significant.
I don't
Really
know, cause phase they could like after you kill them, they could like fuse together to become like the Giga Troll, and then like, I don't
Next
know.
thing you know,
What
you're
is this?
surrounded by the
E8?
enemies.
What's this? E8? She's like a freaking
This is a
her
door.
ogre
This
is
is
just
a
gonna
door boss.
Raise ogre is just
Yeah,
gonna like
this is-
spawn out
The
of
two
nowhere. And the
ogres
trolls
are
are
a
just gonna,
door
like,
boss for the fucking little girl who's
The
gonna
real
be
boss
Shiva.
is the little girl who's Shiva.
Surprise,
all along.
motherfucker. Hope you guys remember Lights Rampant.